Okay, our second look at the Seadoo 1503 with the broken timing chain. Video 1 was posted just a few minutes ago. This is after I took it apart a little further. So I removed the front cover there and also took off the secondary oil pump, which is on this side of the engine. Okay. And of course we got the head off. We found the damaged valves from the timing chain breaking and the broken chain. But I needed to take this front cover off. You're going to have to take it off anyway if you're going to replace this. And this is the timing chain tensioner that goes inside of this hole right here and pushes up against the guide rail. Well, when the timing chain broke, this fell down inside the motor and was lodged up inside of here, like so, in two pieces. So we had to go find that and see if there was any damaged gearing or whatever, you know, the gears that run the shafts on this thing. Oh God, I just dropped in my oil. I just got it out of my oil. Anyway, so we wanted to see if these gears were damaged. We want to look at the starter gear and look at the, you can see the starter drive gear there, but everything else looks okay. This is our timing bump rail that the tensioner pushes up against from the outside. It applies pressure to it. Over here is our gears, you know, our upper timing chain gear. These always look like they're rounded off, but that's the way they come. There's nothing wrong with that gear. It looks perfectly normal. Even the plastic oil slinger is intact. This is the starter gear and the flywheel gear, and they appear to be in good shape. I don't see any damage on those whatsoever, so got lucky on that. At least those aren't going to be extra parts. So it looks like some new valves, some gaskets, and I wanted to inspect the oil pumps. These things are bad about oil pumps. So this is the primary oil pump in the stator cover. And we can remove this oil pump cover and look for scratches. As you can see, that thing's scratched to hell. So that's definitely, while this is apart, it's going to need that oil pump cover. And then you can see the impeller itself is scratched up pretty badly too. See that? Now, in order to get this out easily, you have to take the water pump impeller off, and I'm not going to do that right now because we already see that it's scratched. I can take a magnet usually and fish this out, but I'm just not going to right now. We know that the housing is going to be scratched deep inside of there. And, you know, you really want that housing perfect. You know, SBT rebuilds these housings, and, you know, it's usually cores first, where you send this one in and they put it in their machine and they remachine this oil pump inside to give it a smooth finish, and they mill all this down and it comes back looking good and ready for a new oil pump kit. So, you know, there's 3 parts involved with this plus some seals, and on this one you can buy this plate. I think there's one of these plates that has to be, that's rebuilt, and one of these plates from the other one that you can buy. So I think they rebuild this one, or they rebuild this one to sell you one new one, I don't know. So anyway, I'm not certain that this one is scratched enough down inside to cause us to have problems. I don't like it, and I'll certainly let the customer know about it, but I feel like if it were mine, I would probably run it, and I think it's going to be okay. You know, we need some pretty substantial oil pressure, you know, 80, 100, something like that, to keep this thing going. Anything below 50 pounds is going to cause it to backfire and spit and sputter and catch all kind of hell. So we don't want to do all this work and then have to go back and replace that cover. So we're going to price it all, let the customer decide what he wants to do. So that's what's involved. Now, when you do this timing chain, you cannot get the timing chain around the bottom of this crankshaft without flipping this engine over and separating this case. So you've got all these bolts here and some other main bolts underneath the engine that you have to take out, and you have to actually split the case apart. Typically you'd unbolt all the rods, take the rods loose, pull the crankshaft out, get a perfect whirl to get your new one in there. But you can finagle it and lift it up just enough without pulling the pistons through the bottom of the block, and you can get just enough room to get the chain in there. I've done that once or twice. It worked out well. I think I learned it from a guy on YouTube, actually. So anyway, this is our Seadoo 4Tech 1503 with a broken timing chain, and that's what's going to be involved to fix it and make it right.